Okay, welcome to this week's Fife Property Update. This is from the 29th of September to yesterday, the 5th of October. Look right across the whole of the Fife property market for anybody that doesn't know and is not a regular to this show. Please feel free to ask comments, make suggestions. Please feel free to message us direct as well if you're not wanting to put anything in publicly and you're wanting to know any more information about what's going on. But this is a look at the whole of the Fife property market, what all the estate agents list on Rightmove. Right across the board. So it's the number of properties listed versus the number of properties actually getting sold in the area. We've got the monthly statistics this week for last month, which is September, and also a wee insight into where the market is from August to September overall. You'll see a drop of around 17% in the number of properties coming to market from month on month, August to September, and a drop of 17% almost in the number of properties being sold as well. It's quite interesting right across the board because we're going into a quieter period. But remember, you're only as busy or as quiet as your estate agent wants to be, because there's always buyers out there at a certain point in time. Sometimes I think when it goes into quieter months, that's probably the time to sell. The reason for that is because no one else is on the market. No one else is putting their house on the market. Therefore, you're competing against less properties coming onto the market. Remember, when you come onto the market for the first time and there's been properties on the market for quite a while, a lot of people have actually, the existing buyers have looked at them. So they look at yours for the first time and they go, oh, new house. And then there's a possibility, a stronger possibility, you get that instant boost at the beginning. And there's also strategies for realignment as well for anybody that's on the market for quite a while. You listen to your estate agent. We talked about this yesterday, Richard and I, and the autumn selling, the show that we did yesterday, and the podcast that we did yesterday, and it's on this post on these links. Click on the link above or below and go down the list, and you'll actually see that show, autumn selling, style your home to sell the season with a timeless luxury look. Gave a lot of good insights into what you should be doing, how you should be doing it, and you need to follow it. If you're not sure and you're unsure about what to do and you're still not sure and you need clarification, please feel free, reach out and talk to us about that, because it's important that you get the right information. It's like baking a cake when you think about it. If you put the eggs and the flour and the milk and the butter and whatever it is you put in, then all of a sudden someone turns round, aka a seller, and says, I don't want the eggs. It's like, okay, so how do you think the cake's going to turn out then if we don't put the eggs in? Or somebody says, I don't want the flour. Well, how do you think the cake's going to turn out? So we want me to get a beautiful listing for you. You want me to do as best as possible for you. You want me to reach the market that other people can't reach. But then you're telling me you don't want certain things done. It's literally just like baking a cake. You add all the right ingredients, you get the best result that you can get at the end. That's what it's all about. Let me talk about what's coming to the market. Let's look at the week first of all. And so here's the week just passed. You can see there 103 properties actually listed down at the bottom there, by all the estate agents in the area and subdivided into all the different areas. And you can see how many properties are actually selling, 124 overall. Each region seems to be quite good. But if you move on to the monthly, you'll get a good insight into what happened last month. So that's actually faring very, very well. There is in these weekly, though, there's a couple of ones there, probably just new builds coming onto the market, which aren't in there. It wouldn't affect that too much. But overall, each regional area in the Fife area is actually doing quite well in comparison. You'll notice when I talk about what's been sold with some properties, right across the board with all the agents, it tends to be the lower value properties are actually selling quicker. And the reason for that is because obviously price point, affordability, and everything that goes with it. Price point, affordability, and how easy it is for someone to get access into that. Do they have to pay loads and loads of stamp duty because it's a higher price? Can they afford to pay that stamp duty? Can they afford to pay an ADS, a second homes tax, if that's available? Can they afford to actually invest in the area if they're looking for a buy-to-let, if they're looking for a holiday home, for a serviced accommodation? All these things and the policies of the government as well towards these markets make a fundamental difference. They don't make a fundamental difference on their own, but they do make a fundamental difference to the market in terms of the buyer's market, in terms of if you add them all together, the compounding effect of these, what that does is the mortgage affordability and the legislation that the government's putting in in order to dissuade people from investing in second homes, serviced accommodation, and also buy-to-let properties. Let's jump back to this overall and look at the monthly. Look, here's September. Interesting fact about September. Look at it overall. 527 properties actually instructed with all the estate agents, 505 sold. Now you'll see in the areas, look what's sold. 45 in Cooper, 27 in East Neuk. So East Neuk's around about 25 properties every single month. St Andrews around about 30 properties, maybe about 25 as well every single month on average. Leavenmouth about 40. Dunfermline can see is doing very, very well as usual. Probably proximity to the Edinburgh market, definitely for commuting for people, and Glenrothes and Kirkcaldy doing very, very, very well as well. But you'll see in this 527, there's actually round about 40 properties that are actually new builds come into here. So if you added that onto the roof, 567. The reason that we don't have new builds in here and we take them out in these figures, because they don't come up as sold. So you're not really comparing like with like. So this is the core market of properties actually for sold. But look where it was last month. 610 versus almost 600 sold. That shows you month on month the 17% drop in the number of properties listed, number of properties sold. Now, why is that? Why is that consistent over instructed and sold? Literally, because the reason it's consistent over instructed and sold is because people that put their houses in the market tend to go to buy a house as well. So if the number of people putting their house in the market drops, the number of people probably buying will drop as well, like for like. There's no delayed figure in there. It's the people that put on tend to go and buy within a short period of time, maybe within about 2 months on average. There's about 1,050 properties on the market according to Zoopla overall through the Fife property market itself, and that's about 2 months worth of stock if you look at these figures right here for September. And here. So if you look at the September figures, 505 sold, and you've got 1,050 properties actually on, according to Zoopla, available for buying now. That's 1 month's worth of stock. So effectively, you've got 2 months worth of stock with all the estate agents throughout Fife on the market. So it's safe to say it takes about on average 2 months to sell. Now, in the areas where it goes to East Fife, North East Fife, it's taking longer. In the areas where you go to West Fife, it's taking quicker. So they're the other side of the 2 months, the lower side of the 2 months. East Fife, and as you move from Central Fife to East Fife, it actually gets longer to sell a property. There is round about 6 months worth of stock on the market in St Andrews right now to purchase. So it shows you, but that's because it's a huge price point. So you have to do something exceptional in order to stand out from the crowd, or you have to have a good price proposition in the very beginning. That's quite important. That's why we talked about that in the autumn selling show that we did yesterday with Richard and I. During the week, we also did a blog on the number of Fife homeowners falling foul of overvaluing estate agents, overvaluing how that implications could have. That was Perry and myself that did that. So again, if you want to listen to that podcast, it's a really good insight into how you should be pricing your property in order to make sure that your house sells in an appropriate time. Don't leave it to chance. Get all the information and knowledge you can, because it helps you on your housing move journey. Okay, so talking about movings, let's talk about what's actually been sold by us in the week itself. Here we go. So this will give you a great insight into where we are right now in terms of property prices, in terms of how much you're getting over the home report and that. So 4th Street in St Monans, this was on for a couple of weeks, a 5-bedroom semi-detached house, 350,000, and it is now away, that one. So 3 weeks to sell, property at 350,000 in the St Monans area. Here's another one sold, 50 offers over 55,000 Taylor Street. Took just over a month to sell, and that is away as well. Clay Road in Balmullo is away. That more or less got excitement about it as soon as it hit pre-portal. we're still getting people jumping in at pre-portal level before it even goes on a website, and they're seeing it on social media first, and they're jumping in and they're wanting to see it straight away. Then some of them are in a position to proceed, and a deal could be done. So that's a way. 3-bedroom, semi-detached bungalow sold in a week in the Balmollow area, offers over 280,000. Where's the Road, Buckhaven, sold in 2 weeks. First floor flat, 4-bedroom, offers over 130,000. That is away. Bishopsgate in Cooper, sold in 3 weeks, 3 bedrooms, detached house, semi-detached house, sorry, and that was away, and offers over 190,000. St Abbs is away in Pitt and Weem, sold in 2 weeks, 3 bedrooms, semi-detached house, offers over 190,000. Now, I've said right there 130, 190, 280, 55,000, and then you've got 350. Everything up to 300,000 selling extremely well. Everything after that tends to start to dwindle in terms of the audience, and it's purely down to the fact of affordability. And also in some of the areas where you've got St Andrews and you've got the East Neuk, you tend to have a lot of buyers actually pulling back a bit because of the government's draconian attitude towards investors and towards serviced accommodation and second homeowners. Whether it's right or wrong is not for me to decide. It's just the fact that that's what I'm pointing out. That has an impact on your property sale, and it could take longer because you've got more buyers looking, less buyers looking for that type of property that you've got. This is quite an interesting one. This is the importance of chain building. This is St Andrews Road in Largo Ward, and it took. It's now sold again after coming back on, but 2 previous sales for this one actually fell through. And the reason it fell through is because of chain building. What happened is the buyer's chain actually fell through. So you have to take a new strategy now to accommodate chain building. And the strategy would be, for me personally, is you might want to accept an offer with somebody that's got a house to sell, but you have to kind of put conditions into the fact that, well, if you get an offer in your house within a certain period of time, like for example 6 to 8 weeks, then yes, we will accept that. However, we possibly are not going to put sold on that property just now because we need your house to complete first. Because then basically you're turning away all these buyers or any buyers that might potentially inquire between then because you've got sold or under offer on the property. So it's this new strategy that we're actually beginning to implement because of buyer chain building, which is actually quite prevalent just now. And I did talk about that in the autumn show that we did yesterday. I did with Richard yesterday. That is important to know about that and to be able to do that as well. What have we got coming soon? Let me talk about what's coming soon. If you're interested in any of these properties, you need to reach out to us and ask us about them now so you don't miss out. It's important. Remember, you've only got one chance to get this, more likely. You find Clare Road was a classic example about somebody was in there before everybody else. It took a week to go over the line, but the job was done. And that was really almost before it got to a website. So the website was just a formality of saying, yeah, it's on, but it's sold. So you need to get social media first. You need to follow our channels. You need to jump in straight away when you see a property that you definitely like. You don't want to miss out on your dream home because then second place doesn't cut it, does it? So Hamilton Place in Windygate's first 1-bedroom first floor flat. This could be your first home for you. Station Court and Leven, a 2-bedroom terraced bungalow. This is important. Bungalows, like hen's teeth, bungalows accommodate for about 8% of the housing stock in the UK. So they're very, very rare when they come up. So you need to jump if you're looking for a bungalow. Station Court and Leven, 2-bedroom terrace bungalow. Turpey Road and Leven, 3-bedroom detached bungalow, away coming on. Hill Street in Cooper, 4-bedroom semi-detached house. Gleneagles Avenue in Glenrothes, 4-bedroom semi-detached house. Meadow Park in Kennaway, again, 2-bedroom detached bungalow. I've never seen a week where we've had these bungalows potentially, well, definitely coming on. So get in touch with us if it's a bungalow you're looking for, because you're going to miss out. These don't come up very often. When they do come up, it's like hen's teeth. They're few and far between. It's like looking for a unicorn, I would say. So definitely jump in there if you're looking for a bungalow in these areas I've mentioned right now. You can play it back if you want. If I was a bit quick in terms of my talking, I get excited about things. I get fired up about it all. Okay, let's talk about what's completed before we go on to talk about the wealth creation show with Richard and I. Windsor Gardens in St Andrews, 3-bedroom semi-detached house. Why do I talk about completed? It's to give you an idea about what properties are actually going for and what you're expected as a buyer and where the market is right now if you're a seller. To be a realistic, I have still got sellers now and again out there thinking they're going to get 50 and 60,000 pound over their home report value. We're not in that market anymore. That's all been built into current home report value listings in terms of price realignments for home report values, because all these prices happened in the boom. And then these were the new comparables that we used for the home reports that were set now. So that market has actually passed now, and it's a realistic pricing strategy you have to have now in terms of where you are, right across the board, no matter who you're with any estate agent. So Windsor Gardens, St Andrews, 3-bedroom semi-detached house, sold, and it sold just round about the home report value for £291,000. Main Street in Collinsborough, 2-bedroom ground floor flat. This sold in just under 2 months for round about, well, actually for £92,500. The owners were delighted. Their expectations was a lot lower than that. We managed to get the home report at the right value. Therefore, they got £92,500 for their property. Made a good gain on that actually because it was investor property. Adamson Terrace in Leven, 2-bedroom semi-detached house, sold in 2 months for the home report value. So they're all round about the home report values on the home report values, but more importantly, it was £110,000. If you're wanting £110,000 or thereabouts or a bit more, if it's a bit more, a better condition than this one was, a 2-bedroom semi-detached house in Adamson Terrace area of Leven, then by all means reach out to us and contact us now. But you'll see where the market is going, and hopefully you'll understand where the market is going by what I've said just now. Wealth Creation Show is all about trust and performance tomorrow. Richard and I will be talking about this. We talk about this all the time. This is for our investors and for so they understand the mentality you have to have in order to have a wise investment strategy. Now, just based on personal experience for myself, most people know my track record and where I came from and where I am now in terms of my portfolio, in terms of my investing strategy, in terms of my wealth creation. And so we just do this as a part and parcel at 12:30 every Monday on the Wealth Creation Show. Trust and performance is the one tomorrow. It's a foundational element of any successful relationship. And this holds true in the context of the workplace as well. Whether it's between colleagues, teams, or between employees and their leaders, trust plays a pivotal role in establishing a positive work environment and fostering collaboration and productivity. This goes beyond wealth. Remember, this goes into your workplace. This goes into your relationships with people you have day to day as well. And this is why we talk about it. If you'd like to explore how trust plays a significant role in fostering effective communication, collaboration, and increases overall performance, then tune into the Wealth Creation Show tomorrow at 12:30 live with Richard and I. Until next time, guys, as always, have a fantastic rest of the weekend. Until next time, I'm Jim Parker for Fife Property.